Hi everyone, welcome to the Domain Vlog. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about sales and acquisitions that I've seen recently. Pretty similar to the first vlog that I ever did. That way people can kind of get an idea of what's being bought, what's selling, for what price, and perhaps give them some insight into what they could be or should be investing in. To get started, I just published a blog on the sale of CryptoGame.com. It was a great sale by a NamePros member called Ram. He, did a great job negotiating price and getting a great price for the domain. Sounds like he did some outbound marketing before getting the offer, so you never know where that might have come from. I think obviously crypto names are still very, very hot right now. The keyword crypto, blockchain, block, or just chain, or coin, exchange, those are very hot keywords right now. I recently read that I think that CryptoKitties recently got 12 million in funding or something along those lines. So the crypto game or blockchain-based gaming niche is probably something that's booming or about to see a significant increase in attention. So I think Crypto Game, obviously great brand, great sale, and I think he did an incredibly good job, and he's got a really good price for that. You can read more about it in my latest blog, just inside the sale of Crypto Game. If you want to learn more about that. But some other sales that I saw that were interesting was CryptoCorp.com. Again, another great name. I think it's a good sale, but don't get me wrong, I think the name is also very, very good. You can easily imagine a company called CryptoCorp. So that one sold for I think around $15,000-$16,000. So I think that's a really good sale, and that was reported on NamePros by a NamePros member. And then another sale that I wanted to discuss was Linears.com, which is another sale that goes under the radar and was reported on NamePros.com. But I saw that Linears.com sold for $12,000. Through Sedo, or Sado, however you want to say it. And the domainer that reported this sale said that he was using the Mike Mann tactic of basically pricing his domains a lot higher than what he usually would, let's just say. I looked through some of the history of where he'd been pricing the domain, and I think last year it was priced at $1,988 at some point. He'd held it for some time. I think he purchased it in 2008. So there was different price points throughout the last three years, ranging between 1,988 all the way up to 18,888, which he'd actually just changed it to before selling it for $12,000. But my honest opinion is that Linears.com is a little bit of an outlier. It's not an amazing domain name by any means. If it was Linear.com, I think that's a great name in the singular form. But Linears.com, it's almost hard for me to say. So selling that one for $12,000 is an exceptional sale, and one that the seller can be very, very happy about. It's interesting that he mentioned the Mike Mann tactic, because Mike Mann sells an awful lot of domains for very high prices, 3-word.coms, 4-word.coms that many of us may think is a $1,000 to $2,000 name, and he sells them for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Now, it's important to bear in mind that he owns hundreds of thousands of domain names, so when he's reporting these sales, you've got to consider all the hundreds of thousands of domains that aren't selling, right? So most of us have, you know, a few hundred in our portfolio, maybe a couple thousand, but hundreds of thousands is a different is a completely different game. So selling one domain for $15,000-$20,000 that maybe you think is worth one or two, it doesn't quite align as you would think, because you know, if he priced his domains between $1,000 and $3,000, he might get a lot more sales. But he's obviously gone down the path of saying, I'm going to price all of my domains on the higher end of the spectrum, because maybe that makes more financial sense to him, and he's done the research in terms of when someone approaches, how much of a factor is the price, and if he can get, you know, $10,000 more for an average .com sale, maybe that extra margin makes up for the names that he doesn't actually sell because the price is too high. So I'm sure he's done the research there, and he knows what is the best move in terms of pricing. But yeah, I mean, pricing a third of your portfolio on the higher end of the spectrum might not be a bad idea, just to see what happens. I mean, sometimes if someone wakes up in the morning and says, I want this domain, then you're gonna achieve a very high price for it, maybe higher than what, you know, someone else or even you would be willing to pay. So pricing and domain appraisal is a funny thing, because at the end of the day, a domain is worth whatever someone is willing to pay for that domain. And like I said, if someone wakes up in the morning and says, I want to purchase linears.com, then, you know, the domain like that can end up selling for $12,000 or even more, right? So anyway, those are some interesting sales that I've seen over the last couple of weeks. There obviously been a lot more of larger publicized sales, which most of you would have heard about, right? Purple.com, Edit.com, FO.com, right? And a bunch of three-letter.coms. Dax.com sold for $500K. But yeah, there's a lot of those larger publicized sales. But for a lot of us, when you're talking about an $85,000 sale, a $16,000, $15,000 sale, $12,000 sale, those are good numbers as well, and they're worth looking at and worth analyzing. So in that respect, it's clear that crypto names are still selling. So I would hang on to those names and don't sell them cheap. On the acquisition side, I haven't seen an awful lot of, I haven't looked at an awful lot of other people's acquisitions recently. I did see that, I think Ali Zandi purchased bot.net, which is a really cool acquisition. I think that robotics is going to continue to grow. And as we know, like these niches, they come in phases, and sometimes they'll be really, really hot for a second, just like drones were a couple years ago, or holo names, and, you know, robot names I'm sure will get really, really hot at one point, and bot.net is obviously probably second best to bot.com. So bot.net is a great name. I don't know how much he paid for it, but I'm sure that he got a pretty good deal. And that's a name that although .net has been tough to sell recently, that's a name that will sell in the future. I can be pretty certain of that. But I've acquired a few names recently. I recently acquired sportsagent.com. I think it makes a great brand. I think it's really cool when you can buy an exact match domain. That also makes a great brand, and I think sportsagent.com fits that bill very, very well. I have a little bit of a history in sports. I played college tennis, so I'm a big fan of the sports industry, and I think sportsagent.com makes a really cool brand. It's a really great name, and that's the reason why I purchased it. I can't say the price, but I paid a good amount of money for it. I also purchased usgb.com, and yeah, I can tell you the price on that. I think I purchased it for like $750, and some of you may be thinking, wow, that's a little bit above market price for a 4letter.com right now. And to be honest, the reason why I purchased it is because it begins with US, okay, and it's not like USZV or USXK, right? It's got two good letters at the end, GB. So USGB.com could stand for, you know, a variety of different things, and you're only really needing to use the last two letters, because the first two is US, right? So United States, right? So for example, I know someone that recently purchased USBF, and then the company name is US Business Funding. USGB could be US Gold Brokers, for example, right? And gold brokers, that's a big industry. So anything that starts with US and is a 4letter.com, I think it's inherently much more valuable than the average market price for a 4letter.com. And I think it, like I said before, with FX names and other names, when you can find something that has additional meaning and adds value, then I think 4letter.coms are really great investments right now. Because yeah, if you can find stuff like USGB, or something that ends in FX, or something that begins with VR, or begins with AI or AR, or something like that, where you've got a set in stone two letters that, you know, they're going to be used for, you know, if it's AR, it'll be augmented reality. If it's AI, it'll be artificial intelligence. If it's US, you know that most of the time, if someone's inquiring about your name, probably the beginning of their business name is US, right? So that's why I purchased that. I don't ever hand register names, but the other day I hand registered a domain. I've been trying to purchase a couple of names here and there that end in agency.com. You know, I hand registered redlionagency.com, and yeah, it's a 3-word domain. But what you'll see is that color plus animal make for really good brands. There are just so many of them out there, you know, White Tiger, Red Lion, Red Rooster, or, you know, all those types of names. If you have a look, there are loads out there, and there's a company called Red Lion Jobs. There's a company called Red Lion Canada Advertising Agency, Red Lion Home Care, Red Lion Marketing. So people like that brand, Red Lion. Okay, so redlionagency.com. I hand registered it for $8. I think that, you know, selling that for between, you know, $2,000 and $3,000, or maybe even a little less than that, wouldn't be a surprise for me. That's the kind of price range that I would set the buy it now for, and I think that it's a good investment for $8. But yeah, those are some sales and some acquisitions. I'm gonna be doing these vlogs a little bit more frequently, going over certain things, doing some portfolio reviews. I've had a lot of great feedback from people on the vlogs, and I've had a lot of people submit their top 5 names for review, and I'll try to get around to as many of them as I can. Obviously, when I see some interesting names or somebody making some terrible mistakes, I'll try to pick out those vlogs and try to help you guys out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to giving some more vlogs to you guys. Thanks.